Hark! What lights from Bishop West Tower breaks? Is Writers on the Air, and it shimmers as it shakes. It knows how to do the boogaloo and, of course, the Watusi too. 'Tis WKDW 97.5 FM, bringing it on home to you. Shakespeare never had it so good, even while taming the shrew. Welcome to Writers on the Air, a show dedicated to all writers and poets. I'm your host this week, along with Linda Wright, who's finally back from the Carolinas, and she's rested. Now, we are coming to you this morning live on Facebook, and our show also airs on Sundays at 3:04 on WKDW Radio 97.5 FM, and it streams at kdwradio.com. Thank you to RJ Malloy, our station manager, and thank you, Marie Labrosse, our tech. And we're doing it this way now because of COVID. We can no longer meet at Common Grounds Meeting Hall. For questions and donations, please contact the radio station at 941-564-8738. We are a 501c-3 nonprofit community radio. If you would like to submit your essay or poem, not more than 3 minutes in length, please contact me. L. Schell, that's SCHELL, and the number 2 at Verizon.net. And Marie has my email address rolling across the screen. And thank you so much for Scott Zirkelbeck for being here today. I appreciate your batting the hatch down for us. And we have a new guest today. Tom, I apologize. I didn't clarify how I pronounce your last name. Is it Priano?
Prano or Prino?
Okay. Prano or Prino?
Either way, yes.
Is
depends.
that right?
Yes. That's
like
right.
a rhino.
Yes.
And you are a retired veterinarian, is that right?
Yes, Linda.
Okay. And so you got into writing for something to do, something interesting and creative after retirement. Is that right?
I love literature. That's the reason why. I'm an avid fan of reading literature. So I said, let me try and start writing my own literature.
Literature is deep.
Yes.
Can you I don't have, I can't stand it when someone asks me, what's your favorite this? What's your favorite that? I have no favorites, but what is your favorite piece of literature?
I'm attracted to theater. So Shakespeare, along with the billions of fans, is certainly my idol. William Shakespeare's writings, plays, his dramas, his comedies. That I would say, if I had to answer one best, it's William Shakespeare, along with the billions of others who agree with that.
Wow, Shakespeare is deep. Well, I can tell that after I read the poem that you're going to read today in honor of the journalists who've perished, and it's very old worldly. Would you like to read it now?
Sure.
Okay.
This is a poem, and it is a memento for all of the journalists and writers who, throughout the centuries, have been assassinated for their writings. And we're in a group of people who are those that respect the pen and what it produces, and also we respect the freedom of the press, the freedom of writing, the beautiful reading the different ideas and opinions, even though we disagree with them. So we respect that. And one thing that I feel is a given for everyone is that life is truly a miracle. It is a miracle. And the taking of another person's life, to me, is the greatest sin that anyone can do. So I decided, after many of the journalists that were killed, I sent it to the BBC. They had 19 journalists in Afghanistan that were murdered, 19 Afghani journalists that were murdered by a suicide bomber. And I just cannibalized the play and dedicated to those, and I sent it to the BBC to read they liked the poem, asked me to narrate it, and I sent it over, but it never got read. And then, of course, there were other journalists who were killed. There was an investigative journalist in Malta who was died in a car bombing because she was investigating the corruption and the links between the mafia and the government. And when she was murdered, it really was shocking all over the world. And then there was Jamal Khashoggi, who was murdered in his own embassy for his writings. So essentially, I said I want to get this out there for them, and I eventually asked my friend's son to help me produce it and put it up on YouTube, which is the vehicle we all have now. Thank God for Amazon and YouTube. That gives us a venue to publish our works. So I asked him, I said, my goal is to write this anonymously so that it remains beyond our lives and continues to haunt those assassins. And he agreed. So he produced it and we put it up there and it's listed anonymously. So I will begin now the poem.
Okay.
The Fountain for Lost Pens. Three stand, all silent, squinting in the sun, just opposite a band of five artisans unsheathing pipes, their kit of concert instruments. The five, Pied Pipers and percussionists at rest, a touch away from an aged bottle of bold red, take a break between recitals. The three, abreast, a scribe, well dressed, obliged to stand beside two strangers, mismatched, half clad essentials, their brogans cracked and caked with clay, untied. The hurried hour strikes at 6. Out of sight, a snare drum stops. Pipe artisans, long skilled for consonance and pitch. Action crack, lamp black. Musicians, with shouldered brass bolts and iron breeches, on tempo, raise the raw-tuned instruments. The scribe stares into the distant shade beyond and notes the jagged bluffs. On the swift downbeat from an old score, the troops' sharp tones resound. In unison, unbent, the lone lot bows. Their brogans, cracked and caked with clay, untied. A shattered fountain pen accents the ground. But look, below the jagged granite bluffs, near the fish hawk's nest, in the hushed cool shade, a starburst of black butterflies flares up. Butterflies rise and circle, eyes aflutter, blocking above the reeds like a Greek chorus. A coda of dry India ink wings, white dotted, fly from deep gully to wide glen between the sun and the shade. They fly above the hemlock and the labyrinthine grove of hangman trees. They haunt the laurels every afternoon. India ink wings, unleashed folk ballads of bare feet, minotaurs, and red stained shoes.
Mm,
That was
thank
beautiful.
you.
That was beautiful. It
Lin-
really was.
What a tribute.
Linda is an accomplished poet over here, and she's just loving it. You'll be seeing her in a few minutes. I just pulled this out of the computer last night. This is from 2016, so this is old stats. 800 journalists have been killed. And it says here, over the past decade, more than 800 journalists have been killed in the line of duty, and only 8% of these cases have been resolved. These are the official figures of the Director General of UNESCO, an organization of 195 member states. The 92% of unresolved cases tells the public that free expression is not protected. It tells them that the society cannot ensure their right to information. This is why every government must act upon its responsibility to investigate crimes against journalists. Every government has to act urgently and thoroughly if they are to set a precedent for other cases. So it's wow. And this is from 2016. So we're really behind times in what's happened to journalists recently. Thank you, Tom. And we're going to come back to you, guaranteed. Hi, Emma. I see Emma's made it. It's good to see you.
Yes.
Okay. And Scott, we're going to circle to you.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Scott Circleback from the Northport Poetry Workshop, coming to you today from my host, the Northport Art Center Gallery. And their current show is called Get Inspired by Sound. And there are some beautiful paintings in the gallery, instruments, musicians, all kinds of 3D objects that are instruments. It's a really great little show here in Northport. So if you have a chance, it's going on for the rest of the month. All right. I have a couple. Did you just want me to read one poem at a time? Did I get that right?
Yes, right. Unless it's a haiku.
No, I don't have a haiku today, but now that you told me that, I'll be bringing you some. All right. Okay. This is a newer poem called Those October Vibes. It's not quite up to the level of Tom today because it's a little different, but Tom, I just love that, what you did today. So this is my little tribute here. And you'll see it's a tribute poem. Those October Vibes. I'm looking forward to the 10th trip. We will be together for that one day when all our thoughts lead to you. Oh, this endless summer, but I want to change. Into my feelings I must find a way. Searching for time alone, waiting for your call. Life without you is really just me on my own. And these soaking rains chill me to the core. Are you still here? October, please come home.
Oh, that's beautiful.
We really liked it. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Okay. I have one from Alan Hodgson, who's our airline pilot. We have people from all different walks of life who come on. And it's called Damned Squirrels. Squirrels are climbing into my beautiful standard hibiscus and eating the flowers. I retrieved the half a heart trap from the attic, baited it in the shell peanuts, and waited. After a few hours, I had caught a squirrel, which I drove 2 miles away and released into some woods. As the days passed, I caught several more and transported them to the same wooded area for release. My friend Jim in Cape Cod, wanting me to be even more successful, suggested getting some peanut butter to add to the nuts, saying, "It's irresistible." The next morning, over I go to Publix and buy a jar of irresistible peanut butter. It was a rainy morning, so the trap stayed in the garage. During breakfast, I took 3 crackers, spread them with peanut butter, and I tried them. At lunch, I thought, what the heck, and fixed 3 more. Before dinner, having a glass of wine with the wife, she mentioned that we had no snacks. Here, I offered, I'll do a few crackers with peanut butter. Pretty soon a noise at the window surprised us. It was a bunch of squirrels scratching and banging at the window. The biggest one in the center yelled, "Hey, what the hell is going on with the damn peanut butter?" And of course, Alan said, "Yes, it's really quite irresistible." Okay, thank you, Alan. I guess you cheated those squirrels out of their peanut butter. Okay, Emma Feix Alberts, you have some work for people that can't be here today, and some of your own. Okay, go for it.
Okay, first I'm going to read one by Isolde Hunter. We call her Izzy, and this is called He Hoarded Legacy. Too much of this, too much of that, while time is running out. Towers of unread magazines, packets of photos to mount, stacked boxes filled with brand new shoes for cruises still to sail. Unable now to barely walk, shall not her feet avail. Aesthetic things, art and antiques collected years ago shall be dispersed indifferently with just a toss and throw, releasing her attachment to past treasures of her life, like bird uncaged having fought wings, dissolves her present strife. She so loves tree whispers in wind, sun's tingling pink, those clouds, intangibles make spirits soar, erasing thoughts of shrouds, of little worth her cluttered stuff, to child whom she's begotten, yet hopefully long years of love shall not be soon forgotten. Oh, Izzy always comes up with something beautiful. Thank you, Izzy. And
Thank you, Izzy.
I will read one by Mike Neville and then just one by myself. Okay, by Mike. That okay?
Sure.
Okay. This is Mike Neville. Something more. I would sit on the front porch watching the grass grow. She would always come over to say hello. We would talk about the color of the leaves on the trees, talk about the birds and the bees. She was a neighbor and a good friend. We would sit and talk till the daylight would end. Then she would go her way. There were times I would ask her to stay. She had her life to live and I had mine. To look back, I think we were two of a kind. I wonder if I had kissed that girl from next door, would we have wanted something more? She was so pretty and is still to this day. When we meet, we always have something nice to say. I see it in her eyes and hope she sees it in mine. Those memories we made, we didn't leave behind. I would sit on the front porch watching the grass grow. She would always come over to say hello. We would talk about the color of the leaves on the trees, talk about the birds and the bees. She was a neighbor and a good friend. We would sit and talk till the daylight would end. I wonder if I had kissed that girl from next door, would we have wanted something more? I would sit on the front porch watching the grass grow. She would always come over to say hello. I wonder if I'd kissed that girl from next door, would we have wanted something more? I'm sure that's also a song. That's why
Right.
it has repeated choruses, because Mike writes music, writes songs. I'm going to read one by me. This is called The Thread. My tiny newborn fingers held tightly to the thread, becoming weaker as the uncontrollable events of my life unfolded. And one day, the thread was gone. I searched for the elusive thread throughout the empty years of my life. And now, in the twilight of my time, I see clearly the thread attached to the balloon of my existence, floating into the stratosphere, carrying all my hopes and dreams as far away as Venice or Mars. How many tugs did it take to remove the thread from those tiny, unsuspecting fingers? I always have
Okay.
something uplifting.
Yeah.
Do you want me to shut up now?
Okay. Do you have something for Dobie when we come back?
I don't. Dobie has all of his work with him. Every
Okay, we've
single
got
thing.
something. We've got
You
something
have?
for
Good,
Dobie.
good. Okay.
Okay. This is for Carol, who I really feel badly. She wasn't feeling well and couldn't join us this morning. It's a haiku, several I'm going to read. At the beach, a few sandy shells, the scent of a summer breeze, puffs of clouds drifting, butterflies winging against a purple rainbow, sunbeams smiling down. And the next haiku is in sunshine bright. The sun's rays sparkle on the sea like a fine crystal. The quiet lingers. This moment knows only peace. Tomorrow will wait. And the third one is the bird song. Let me awaken to birds singing, sun shining, and days will be blessed. Summer's warm song moves, robins to trill sweet echoes in June and July. Thank you, Carol. And Ethan, a new participant to our show, can't be here today either. He's quite an interesting person, and he brought to my attention that he has dyspraxia. And I want to bring that up again, that condition, and then I want to read something that Ethan wrote. He said, I pulled this up on the internet. The odds are that you don't know anyone with dyspraxia. That would be the odds of 1 in 10. It's a neurological disorder throughout the brain that results in a lifelong impaired motor and memory processing and other cognitive skills. Dyspraxia also impacts the immune and central nervous system. Each dyspraxic person has different abilities and weaknesses, and dyspraxia often comes with a variety of comorbidities. The most common of these is developmental coordination disorder, also known as D like dog, C, D like dog, a motor planning-based disorder that impacts fine and gross motor development. For insurance reasons, the World Health Organization code for DCD and dyspraxia together is F82. Well, we don't need to know that. But anyway, it's something that Ethan has to deal with, and it's not easy. And Ethan wrote the following: life is a maze that starts when you're born. Everyone's maze is different. No one can fully relate to anyone else's. Some are short, others long, and some in between. Mazes have all different paths, but you won't know what the path holds until you go into it. All mazes have emotions. Some have it easy, others more difficult. The longer a person goes, the easier the maze might be. It may be long, dark, and scary now in time. Just do not lose hope, as the next turn you take may be easier and fun. Thank you, Ethan. Okay, now, Tom, what do you have for us? You have something good?
Oh, another poem you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I have an old poem I wrote once in a nightclub in Manhattan, just standing alone, and of course being the book bibliophile I am, while everyone was drinking, and I just moved aside and took out a pen and a napkin and started writing a poem.
Okay.
So here it is. It's called Reflections from a White Linen Aisle. An old melody, ancient as Euphrates, fans and embers glow. Long ago, it refrained onto this white linen shore. Minor chords undulated in arpeggios. That night, an elfin votive candle sprinkled vanilla into the penumbras of my mind. Enchanted images waltzed in flaxen fires. Two flames neared and intertwined. Just a stock-stemmed rose in a long, thin vase veiled upright desire. Paired wine glasses for a prelude to a prolonged song of songs. You, all the world's silver, could not glisten like the diamond that will dress my naked finger. Me, all the diamonds in the shrines of India are a coarse-grained photo of your smile. Two adamant atoms in one eternal setting, halves, even apart, rising whole, sublime. Tonight, the present, rhymes across the orchard of the past. The amber votive beacons like an ice-distant star. Tonight, my claret, half full, and I, a long-stemmed rose in a fine glass vase.
Ooh,
Very
that
nice.
is absolutely beautiful, Tom. You have found your platform. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am Linda Wright, and I'm taking over the next half of the show. I came back from vacation, had a good time. And I'm just reminding you, we are writers on the air, and we are coming through to you from WKDW Radio 97.5 FM on your radio dial. And we'd like to thank our station manager, RJ Malloy. And as always, I'm going to read something from his book called A Traveler's Journal. And this is called Northern Light. Starting from the ancient house with a cigarette and an open coat, I walk slowly anywhere, but always the same place, past the fetid dark of vacant lots, interred by the waste of people only half alive, past the children playing with iron pipes and rusted cans, past the ruminating factory with its incessant pounding loud and rude in the grayed dirtiness of a Sunday afternoon, past the first traces of redness in the air, and on the sidewalk, and on the parked cars, and on the sky, towards the river and my love's empty house. On my pilgrimage, I stopped to blear through the red iron fence. A brown rust claw groans back and forth between mountains of red ore as the red muddied freight cars drool the red saliva into ever deepening pools. Back across the road, over the rubber scum, a pipe vomits its green sewage into the already stinking black. Halfway across, it starts to rain, red rain, and my pilgrimage is cut quite short. The splotches on the sidewalk are red and damp. Water alone will not wash away the dust. Beneath the dripping railroad eaves, the stench from the lake endures. A shroud for the river and my love's empty house. Into the stew-bum alley, grabbing at ragged peacoats reddened with a cork bottle core of living, as knuckle-rubbed eyes dance across my eager face. Look, mister, I got a wife and kids somewhere. Don't hurt me. I drop their sleeves and turn past the theater with its lurid promises and leering thighs, which cannot escape the redness that is spreading everywhere. And whether or not this speeding bus smashes me to a pulp makes absolutely no difference, or to the river and my love's empty house. Woo, you are so deep, RJ. I don't know if you're going to write another book or not, but you better. How's everybody doing today? Hi, Emma. I haven't seen you. Hi, Scott. Okay.
Hi.
I wrote this morning. So, and as all of you know, I write to music. So when I heard this music, I just kept listening to it, and I listened to it like 25 times. And I wrote this because this is what I saw in the music. This is called This Ballad Is For You. Leaning back against a wall of an old weathered barn, relaxing on a tied-up bale of hay, one leg propped up, the other stretched lazily in front, slowly tapping a worn leather boot on dusty dirt after a dry spell of no rain or music. Plucking and strumming on an old guitar to every beat of his heart, he feels a new melody enter his head, unconsciously chewing a blade of wheat hanging from pursed lips in total concentration. Words keep sticking in his mind of journeys past in bits and pieces, forming the stories of his life. He rubs his gray, whiskered chin, leans his head back, and with tired, troubled eyes, looks up into thick white clouds that promise much-needed rain. The ballad slowly starts to form in his mind as soft breezes blow whispered words of longing through his ears. Humming and picking in a melodious voice that would move mountains, he wrote his song, and they would stand up and cheer and applaud. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's for today. Okay, I'm going to read one from Steve Lind. He sent us a shorter one, but I think he deserves a longer one for now. And if we have time, we'll read it later. This is called Here in My Hour of Darkness. Here in my hour of darkness, I try to find the light, but it fades from a forlorn memory into the cold black night. Shadows creep into my room like the specters approaching death, looking to breathe the shell-shocked remnants of my one last dying breath. Begone, ye invaders of doom, I cry, my time is not yet come. But silently they stare unaware while my heart still beats like a drum. They insist on keeping me company like silent ghosts of despair, harbingers of an ancient torch song with the lyrics I care not to share. But the sound of their silence is deafening in waves of the mute, deaf, and dumb, while I sit here alone in God's waiting room, just waiting for my kingdom come. They shriek and wail the perpetuity of new lives that yet shall pass, like sands from an ancient desert through a brand new hourglass. In and out of stained glass windows, like banshees, they madly fly, flourishing parades of colorful shades and a reverie that crosses the sky. Exploding in magical arabesques where their life forms once were shorn, they shower the sparks of their transmigration, just like the comets being reborn. As they dance like Einstein and Aphrodite with the power of magnetic waves, they catapult into an avalanche of enlightenment that love is the flower that saves. The tears of joy from my eyes flow like the blood of the sun, while I sit here alone in God's waiting room, just waiting for my kingdom come. I look at my world as it disappears, becoming the victim of my very worst fears. For the darkness has taken flight, and the shadows that fall are 100 feet tall, but they pallor inside of the light. Their blackness defragments into a skeletal structure of architectural disarray, disintegrating the raw physicality and transmitting its DNA. Throughout the cosmological terra forma, like a galactically dimensional spray, it sheds its clothes of infrastructure in a savagely graceful way. I hear the tears of what music reveres that only the loneliest of angels can strum, while I sit here alone in God's waiting room, just waiting for my kingdom come. Boy, that was good, Steve.
Yes, it
Very,
was.
very talented. And by the way, he is the one that writes that little ditty at the beginning of the show. You know, that little poem ditty? He writes that. So good work, Steve, whatever your name is. Tom, Steve's from Jersey, and Emma is from Jersey. We're all from Jersey. We should just call this the Jersey Show. Sorry, Linda. Well,
I was going to say.
you know what I mean? What can I tell you? You know what I mean? We understand each other, okay?
Yes.
Okay, this is from Sheila Calhoun. This is called We Laughed Out Loud. We saw such a funny thing the other day. We both laughed out loud as they came our way. Looking out the windows, I couldn't believe my eyes. I assure you this is true. I'm not telling any lies. My husband was driving down King's Highway going into town. We were making our way to the stores to have a look around, when suddenly this motorcycle passed us by. I saw something so funny, I let out a startled cry. For there on the back seat of the motorcycle, sitting at his ease, gazing out at the passing cars and looking very pleased, was a very large dog with goggles on to protect his eyes. Strapped securely in his seat, we were certainly surprised. He was sitting very still with his head held high, so contented with no sign of nervousness as they flashed by. That dog had a lot of love and trust for his owner, I'd say. It left us both smiling as we continued on our way. That was really nice, Sheila. That was really, really nice. Okay. All right. I have one here from Dobie, Emma. Should I read it? Okay.
She doesn't have anything.
Okay. This is called Friday Night Lights. This is from Dobie Pasco. Small town America is alive and well under the Friday night lights of the Port Charlotte High School football field. Across the field, sunlight fades in the sky, and as the lights become brighter and the stands begin to fill, on both sides of the field, smoke from the hamburgers on the grill put their familiar smells in the air. The girls are as pretty as ever, and maybe even more so, as this is homecoming, celebrated at every school and every town in America. The hope and enthusiasm are palpable as emotions run high, with both hopes and dreams, and just enjoying the night with friends, old and new. You can come back. It will always be the same, the sights and sounds, the feeling in the air like you have never left. Maybe a little sadness as you wind your way through the crowd on leaving. But you know, you can always come back next year, as this sacred place will always be here. Or you can come back every Friday night for the rest of the football season. That was really cute, Dobie. That was really, really nice. Okay. All right. I have one from John Pillow. He is from the Peace River Center for Writers. He's the president of that, I believe. College professor. Why we sometimes stay away from home. So many hotels, vacations, visiting friends. Our lives in clean linen, starched shirts. Itineraries arranged with a bed made. Crisp sheets straightened, pen and pad. By a black phone on the nightstand. My Gideon Bible in the drawer, we pray. Beneath a popcorn sky, remote control and cable. Looking for ordinary order as Coke machines and ice. We kneel to spy for dust bunnies. Under bed, lampstand, or reach higher. Decreases along seams around the shower. The new half-moon apron, yellow with the illusion of more room. This is how we love and laugh and live. Sometimes the rest can be chaos in the room where living is easy. But sharing is hard. This space conceals the place where all return. And the unison of waves passing over and under humans, waiting into another moment with every movement we make, traveling to this space from this space, giddy with instructions never read, never followed. Thank you, John. Thank you. Now, yes, would anybody up here, Scott, do you have something else you want to read for us?
Sure, I do. This is written recently, and it's not really my fault. I was prompted to write it, so you'll figure that out as I read it. This is called Things About to Get Freaky Up in Here. Okay? The pumpkins are coming. The pumpkins are coming. The pumpkins are coming. Yes, time to eat the flesh from heads without bodies. The witches are gathering at the local markets, hoarding cinnamon brooms, black licorice, and apple cider, and toilet paper again. You know what I'm talking about. There are actual flying pigs being hurled into the air while tailgates swing into action in stadium parking lots, like a lot. If you're cheering, you're probably beering. The weekend rake warriors are providing free funerals for the dearly departed. Deceased leaves our summer's hungover drunk friends. Crunchy mulch, Earth's insulation against intimate shrouds of snow. Drink up oaks and maples. A magnificent fall from grace awaits the autumn's wind. P.S. The wind is not your friend. Do not get in the car with him. He's only going to blow you to smithereens. Careful not to land on any carved up orange bowling balls. Try not to knock out any low-flying babes in black. Save some daylight. These nights are getting nippy. Slurping from cocoa from my sippy. Flannel, couch, and a horror movie. The first scene, a fallen leaf. Scared? Who, me?
That was really good. I like that a lot.
I should have saved it for a few weeks from now, but as I said, I was prompted to write it because everything is pumpkin, and
it's coming up.
It.
You know the poem me's coming up.
I know. We have our endless summer. We don't need no pumpkin pushed on us in Florida.
And my sister lived next to a cornfield, and we were talking about the scarecrows and the children of the corn sneaking out. Oh yeah, my imagination was running wild.
We'll get together, Linda.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to read one from Ethan Babb really fast. This is called Monster Maze. Can't seem to escape this monster inside my head. It created a maze of anxiety and depression in every part. The monster seems to get bigger with every step I take, seems to be never ending. Escaping, it seems impossible. But I am willing to fight to see the end of the maze and be happy again. Seems impossible to do alone. With help, it seems possible to beat this monstrous maze. The maze never seems ending for now, and determination I will defeat this monstrous maze inside my head. Wow, that's really, really good. Do you have anything, Tom, anymore? Do you have, we have some time left.
No. But I do want to ask, the poem that I read, the one on about for the fallen writers, assassinated writers. I put it up, and honestly on YouTube, And when I Google searched, I could never find it. I don't know how do you make it happen where if you do a search, it'll come up. Maybe you all know something how to do that. I don't know. Is it
I
going to
usually
be linked? Is it going to
I
be linked
usually
on
put
your
my
show?
poems on my Facebook page, and
Oh yeah,
then
it's on my
it'll come up.
Facebook page.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and
I
then you
wanted
can
it.
share that. But I'm not myself familiar with
Yeah.
YouTube. Emma could tell you that later on. We have
Mhm.
like some minutes left. Emma, do you have another poem you would like to read?
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's called Daddy's Girl. I ran to your open arms as you appeared each evening, our protector, Mommy's and mine. I was so cute, so bright, so alive, so you said. There was never enough film to capture my likeness, my essence. When did it all end, Daddy? Was I 6 or 7? When did I cease to be cute, bright, and worthy of your love? When the hands that held me so tightly became weapons to beat my body. Hands that love do not hurt. Eyes that love are not stones. When did you decide to break my spirit, heart, and the most delicate part of my being, my mind? Is there a book with step by step instructions on how to turn love into vindictive hate? Hate that has left me railing into the darkness? I rationalize my pain and bury you once and for all, only to have you reach out from your hallowed ground to touch me once again with the cold, hardened hand of the dead. I will never again know the peace from the inner glow of the girl whose father loved her. Okay, that's it for me. That's it.
Good. That's
Boom.
good. That's good. That's good. All right, here's one from Carol Castagna. It's called Love Story. Two happy little kites soaring, dancing, entwined then, free falling, dancing earthward, only to reach again lazily toward the heavens, like you and me in sheer abandon. At night, in your arms, you squeeze me as though it's the first time, and the music plays on and on into the autumn and winter of our years together. And we're dancing, free falling, then stargazing, reaching and soaring toward heaven. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I have another one. I think we got a couple minutes left. I can't remember if we get done 53 or 56. I can't remember anything anymore. All right, this is called New Day. Hues of golden stardust wave across acres of tufted cornfields in abundant variations, whilst poplar trees vie for attention. Strong breezes snatch leaves held on too long in their quest for summer's end to begin, cascading and floating in whispered movements to their final rest. Forever stagnant against winter's bitterness, slowly decaying in earth's bed. Morning's light filters through small angel-like wings, flapping, flapping, in a prayer of translucence or golden stalks of silk. Day after day, standing tall and erect, wrapped in protective sheaths of armor, until their time has come to peel away layers of bondages, enclosing nourishment from whence they were sown, soon to be harvested. And as the breezes keep waving, the corn keeps waiting. Small angel-like wings keep their choirs of music singing, as each new day brings more beauty of golden-hued variations, slowly waiting for a rebirth.
Very nice.
Thank you. I wrote that next to my sister's cornfield. By the way, they harvested the day after I left. So all right. We have more time.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to read one from Izzy. It's called Little by Little. Little by little, the deed shall be done. Rocks dripped with water are changed from hard stone. In soft crystals of sand they become, over the centuries, patiently honed. Little by little, all things shall transform, simply by way of the day spent on earth. Closed minds evolve and wrongdoers reformed, subtly molded into a rebirth. Challenges, struggles may strengthen or break. Heart of a hawk might morph into a dove. Vanity, coldness, viewed now as mistake. Souls that were hollow can blossom with love. Slow epiphanies, no one's alone. Part of the whole, truth too great to ignore. Swirling through space as each one knows his home. Fragments in time and a rhyme, nothing more. Ah, infinite time, great keeper of souls, show them your journey, those barren and bare, allowing enlightenment, pray to unfold, so peace on this planet each one then might share. Little by little, each droplet on stone splinters hard rock to a fine sugar shore. To travel life's path, truth as last becomes known. Little by little, each soul becomes more. And that was from Izzy's Burnished Ballads and Wrinkled Rhymes. Okay. Okay, we're closing down pretty soon. Does anybody have any like really short one or?
I do.
Go ahead, Scott.
Okay, this is from my collection from the Harbor Village condominium that I worked on last month. A friend, a photographer, sent me a series of pictures, and I wrote 7 poems on them. So I have a little series going on with her. This is called Mangroves. Moving along, marching about, meandering more or less, the blue thou with the alabaster cloud, her plume looks like a lady's fancy dress. She plods forward, stepping, stretching her improbable neon lime legs, lunging at the water's edge, flouting her grace and beauty. She walks alone, stately, but a bit moody. She is a river bird, looking for love amid the mangroves, so twisted and tangled. Make her heart your home, mention her majesty, respect her gait. She doesn't need no fine feathered friend. She wants to find a mate.
That was really, really nice. That was really nice.
Cute. Happy writings, everybody.
Okay, I have another one for Alan. Linda has told me.
Maybe I'm wrong.
She might be wrong.
I
think she's wrong.
Okay.
That doesn't matter. I have a short one for Dobie. Tears on the inside. Maybe it doesn't matter. The one crying knows from where or whence they came. And most importantly, why. But let them go when it is time. You have more time to fill your days and nights with smiles and laughter, simply grinning on both the inside and the outside. Okay, and I have another short one from Sheila. It's called I Stand Here in My Garden. I stand here in my garden, all the birds are singing. I stand here in the garden with flowers all around. And yet my thoughts go winging back to the old familiar ground. As I stand here in my garden, back to memories all my own. As I stand here in my garden, softly on the summer air, comes the sound of bagpipes playing. I can hear the pipes of home. I stand and listen to him playing, my neighbor on the street. I stand and listen to a tune that brings back memories sweet of a lovely, lazy summer days so full of fun. Oh, how young we were, how young. Oh, that was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, and this is from Linda Schell. Oh, I didn't know you wrote, Linda. This is called Women's Conference. Hail the hormone clutch, heed the high clicking heels, hark the clucking chicks, snakes and shrews describe a few, happy hens are some, boobs and babes are having fun. Buttocks are widespread and abundance as they sit. Bouffants knock some heads, sisters to the hood are wed. Prattle, tattle, some boobs and babes are having fun. Hail the hormone clutch, skirts and sweaters off the rack. Oh, perfume, anyone? Lipstick nestled in a bag, nylon sag, and tongues wag. Boobs and babes are having fun. Care to join me, anyone? Where are we going, Lynn? I'm ready. Right, Emma, you ready? We're all ready.
Here's one from Mike.
I have no life. What can I tell you? What are you going to do? All right, this is from as you can tell, this is from Mike Neville, right? Okay. This is who I am. Take a look at me. Can you tell who I am? Who am I now? Do I look the same? Or a guide to you that looks shiny and new? I've been living my life, just passing time, Life has been good to me. I'm feeling just fine. Oh, just listen to me. Listen to what I say. I get tired of being who I am some days. I can have 2 shots and drink 4 beers, and I still look like the same old me. And who's that guy in the mirror there? Seems like he is always following me. I have been this man way too long, singing and dancing to the same old song. I gotta change myself, becoming someone new. Who do I want to be? Man, I ain't got no clue. I've been living my life, just passing time. Life has been good to me. I feel just fine. Oh, just listen to me. Listen to what I say. I just get tired of being who I am some days. If I had my way, I'd move to another time, live my life like a Mother Goose rhyme. Maybe I could smooth and debonair, live my life like I was walking on air. I've been living my life, just passing time. Life has been good to me. I feel just fine. Take a look at me. I like me today. This is who I am, and I ain't going away. Hey, that was good, Mike. That was good. I think we only have a few minutes left. Oh, yeah, 2-minute warning. Oh, I like that. That's new.
2 minutes is a
Okay,
long time.
yeah. Emma, do you have a short one?
Sheila Calhoun,
Like a
real quick one.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, it's called Dad. This is Sheila Calhoun. It's just a lock of silver hair that's left here all alone. No shell to bury in the earth. Be still, my heart, don't mourn. For if there is a heaven above, I know he will be there. And I have felt a certain peace to leave him in God's care. Sheila, thank you. That's beautiful.
That was really, really nice. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. Like I'm a little out of whack because I've been going for 3 or 4 months. I can't remember. But I want to thank Scott Circleback, Thomas Prano. We hope you come back. I love your poetry. And of course, Emma, Linda Schell, who has been doing such a marvelous job filling in for Emma and I since we are not on the radio at the radio station. She's been working so hard, marketing and everything. And we're just hanging on, and we're getting new writers every day. And I would like to thank all the people who have sent us their writing so that we could read it on the air. Don't be afraid. We're very low key. Get your work out there. And remember, we are writers on the air coming through WKDWradio.com at 97.5 FM. We are on the radio every Sunday at 3:04 p.m. And an extra special thank you to Marie LaBrosse, because without her, we would be nada. So thank you, Marie. And we hope to see you. We will see you next Tuesday at 11:04. This is Linda Wright. And for Linda Schell, we thank you and we say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.